The Philly rental market is shifting fast, and today I'm breaking down what every landlord needs to know to stay ahead of the time. Area is one of the most desirable areas in the Northeast, and average median income for the area is one of the highest in the whole city of Philadelphia. We're here to share insights and experiences, not legal or accounting advice. Be sure to talk to your attorney, accountant, or professional advisor before making any decisions. Everyone's situation is different. Get the help that is right for you. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Philly Landlord Guy show, the show where we do deep dive into local real estate market without any fluff. I'm your host, Yuri Skripnichenko, the guy with the crazy last name. Just think of me as Philly Landlord Guy. I am a licensed real estate broker and certified property manager in city of Philadelphia. Today I'm going solo, and in all of my solo episodes, I will be bringing you latest market updates, important news for landlords, and practical advice that you can actually use. So in this episode, we're going to cover a few big developments. And as I promised you previously, we will start breaking down city by zip code or by neighborhood, and I will be providing you market statistics on how many days it takes to rent your property on average for the city and for specific neighborhood, and just specifics of different neighborhoods. So I will talk in this episode about 19154, very far northeast Philadelphia area, and then we will jump into some news. I will tell you about pretty big update from Zillow. I will walk you through some major announcements from City of Philadelphia, PHA authority also, and update on new construction in Philly and how all of that affects our market. To begin with, let's jump into market analysis right away to get it off of our way. So average days on the market for the city and wholesale for first 3 months of this year, so January, February, and March. I'm recording this at the end of April. We don't have the April data yet, but for the next episode when I will be recording, we will have April data and we will see what changes in April. But as of now, I can tell you that average days on the market across the whole city of Philadelphia didn't change much. It's 79 days as of now, and with 83 days in January, 82 in February, and 75 in March. But since we're talking about 19154 today, a very far northeast zip code, and if any of you invest in the zip code, it's a great place to be. It covers a few different neighborhoods, but two biggest one, it's Parkwood and Millbrook, and there are a couple smaller neighborhoods. Some of them can be called Byberry. It's kind of to the left from the Parkwood, or I would say to the west. If you look in that way, then there is a small neighborhood of Normandy and a very small kind of subdivision, Mechanicsville. But there are almost no rentals in those little subdivisions. So again, going back to 19154, it's a great area to invest, very stable area, not too many rentals. Around 74% are owner-occupied properties. So again, not too many rentals, and the data may be a little bit skewed because we also do not have too many properties on the market at any given moment. So it's all of the numbers are based on just a few properties that being rented this year. So compared to the city in whole, the numbers look a little bit better. So for the first 3 months, average day on the market is 70. Was 71 in January, 96 in February, and 61 in March. But that is all across only like 29 properties that were rented during this year. So it's not too much of data to actually make a decision if it's represent what actually happens in the market. But the median rent is $2,200. And the median listing price is $2,300. So even in this very stable neighborhood where demand is always there, not too many options to choose from, we see that the rental price is decreasing from what it's been listed for to what it was closed at. So if it were listed at 23 and closed at 22, we'll have $100 decrease, which is about 5%. And we see that that is happening across the city. So a little bit more things that you may want to know about this neighborhood. It's been stable. It's been built sometimes in the 60s to 70s. So there are a lot of outdated inventory, but also if you're looking for something newer, you can find newer constructions. Well, newer from Philadelphia at least, that's going into 80s and maybe even 90s. Not too much empty lots or too many empty lots or too much land to develop or to build. That's why new construction is almost non-existent. I've seen a few new construction in this zip code, new construction properties, actually. One development, 5 new single-family row houses were built on Byberry Road, and they were all sold somewhere north of $500,000. Probably not the best investment property, but it's a good property for owner occupants. Again, the area is one of the most desirable areas in the Northeast, and average median income for the area is one of the highest in the whole city of Philadelphia. Definitely something that you want to consider if you're investing in Philadelphia or investing in Northeast. Again, it's 19154 with Parkwood and Millbrook. Okay, so moving on to Zillow report. Zillow just released a new report in April, or they updated their forecast for 2025, and it doesn't look great for either sales or rentals. They were projecting that the prices of the houses will stay flat for the whole year, or maybe will have a slight increase under 1%. I think it was 0.6. But they adjusted the prediction in April because of all of this mortgage rate hikes and inventory that we see coming available online and sellers cutting the prices to attract buyers. Now they're predicting that across the board, the prices for housing will drop by almost 2% by the end of the year, which is not a great sign if you're looking to sell, but if you're looking to buy, probably it's a good time to do so, or at least you can expect that you can get some kind of discount from the seller, which we haven't seen in the last few years. No discounts were available before. Also, the report mentions that for rentals, they review 2 different types of rentals: the apartment complexes or apartments, and like regular single family houses, which most of us are dealing with. So again, we're seeing that rental hikes are flattening. We're not seeing anymore any 10-15% or anything like that increases year over year. They expect that on average for the country, for the apartments, it will be about 2% increase in 2025. For single family housing, about 3% increase. So if you have a property in Philadelphia area or city of Philadelphia, think about that and maybe do not increase too much if you got used to increasing your rent in the last 4 years. This year, we will not be seeing this much of a hike. In addition to that, city reports that in 2024, we added about 8,000 new apartments that actually went on the market, not just permits that we're still getting more to build new construction or build new housing, but also actual apartments that went online on the market, 8,000 units. And most of them are in greater Center City area. So it's like Northern Liberty, Fishtown, and all of those areas around Center City or Center City itself. But that's adding a lot of available units on the market, which means that if you have a property in that area, your property automatically becomes older and less desirable, and you just have less potential tenants who want to rent your property. So be mindful of that as well. And whenever you're pricing your unit to put it on the market, check that out, see what this new building's offering. And we also will have an episode soon coming up where I will talk about how we're pricing out our units, how we're making sure that they are competitive, and what you need to look for, or how you can do it yourself if you don't have access, like agents do to MLS, how you can find the pricing and where you can get all of the details and how to make sure that you're not overpricing or underpricing your unit. Now, in addition to all of that, PHA has a proposal alongside with our city mayor home initiative where she's proposing to borrow some money to build affordable housing. So going back to PHA vouched that they will bring about 30,000 units on the Philadelphia market in the next 7 or 8 years. So they're planning on build or acquire about 20,000 units and preserve 10,000 units. So whichever they mean by preserving, it's, I guess, the units that are dilapidating, they will just go around and renovate them. And they look into purchase the properties from the builders as well. So that will add 30,000 units in the next 7 years. So even if it's not going to happen in 1 year, 30,000 units, so it's still about 4,000 to 6,000 units a year, which will again bring more available units on the market and probably will affect our pricing model or availability of the tenants that looking to rent. Also, if it's PHA and if they looking to make part of those apartments not just affordable, but for PHA tenants, also known as Section 8 or previously known as Section 8, that means that a lot of people who rent to Section 8 tenants, or if you have Section 8 tenants in your properties, think that those tenants may switch to this new housing that PHA is looking to build or acquire. So see how you can keep them, because your turnover is the biggest cost that you have while your property is vacant, while you need to do renovations. Maybe think about it ahead of time and see how you can prevent your tenant moving out and looking to get better deals somewhere else. Before we continue, I would like to thank our sponsor, TrustArt Realty, a property management company in Philadelphia. So if you're a landlord in Philly, you know how complicated it can be to manage your rentals. That's why TrustArt Realty is offering all of our listeners a free rental analysis or a management advice session. Whether you need understanding of market trends or improving how you manage your rentals, they've got you covered. To get your free sessions, email us at trustartrealty@phillylandlord.com or just find a link in show notes to submit a short form and somebody will get in touch with you shortly. Let's keep going. Okay, now let's talk about significant zoning change that could impact many landlords and property owners in Philadelphia. So the City Council has passed a new bill targeting properties that have been grandfathered into non-conforming uses. And if you listen to our previous episodes or a few episodes back when I spoke to Rachel about confirming, non-confirming zoning, about rental licenses, we touched a little bit on that topic. So essentially, if you own such a property that you were grandfathered some rights to use the property as whichever it can be and decide to change that use without obtaining the proper permit, you could lose that grandfather status. And if you want to go back, you will be required to go through the zoning variance process, which is a very lengthy process. It may take many, many, many months and a lot of thousands of dollars for you to do it. So usually what happens is that, let's say we're not in UC and a lot of properties were built in 30s, 40s, 50s, or 60s, and zoning changes over time. So if we had one zoning overlay in the 60s, it's completely different that we have now. And let's say your property was built as a duplex, and now it's zoned as a single family house. But since it was built before, then your use of the property is grandfathered as a duplex. But let's say you bought this property and you thought that, okay, I'm going to live in the property myself and I will make it a single family. And then when I move out, I will make it a duplex again and will rent out 2 units. If you do it now, without correct permitting or obtaining permission from LNI, you may not be able to use that property as a duplex again because you will have to go through the whole zoning process to get the variance to use it as a duplex, which may be a problem. So before you decide to do anything to your property, make sure that you have correct zoning documents or you have correct permissions to do what you want to do, or it may become a problem later for you. Okay, and for those of you who's listening to us for the first time, just a reminder that we are starting a new Jumpstart program for Northeast Philadelphia, which will be located in Frankfurt. We already know the dates for our classes. The classes will begin in September. It will be 5 classes over 5 weeks of September, where we will teach people on to how to invest in your area. So if you live in Northeast or in Frankfurt or anywhere in the city of Philadelphia, you can apply. The application is not available yet, but we will let you know when it becomes available. And we will teach you how to develop, how to invest, how to make your neighborhood better. More information will be available later. And once it is, we will release and let you know. The application process will start sometime by the end of May, and just keep tuned. Okay, in this short time, we've covered a lot, from Zillow updating their report to PHA building additional or getting additional 30,000 properties on the market for the next 7 years, plus developers releasing a lot of available apartments. 8,000 came alive last year and more coming this year. We need to stay on top of those trends and see how that affects our market and what we need to do with our current rentals and how we can stay competitive. If you're a landlord in Philadelphia, staying on top of these changes isn't optional. It's critical to protect your investment and plan for the future. So if you find this show helpful, please take a second to follow us, like, share, or leave a review, leave a comment. If you have any questions, send us an email, or if you want us to cover any specific topics, put it in the comments or send us an email, and we'll make sure to cover those topics in the future episodes. And stay tuned. We still have a lot of great information for you in the coming months. We have a local investor who will be talking to us about specific areas that he invests, which Fishtown and Port Richmond, popular areas. So if you invest in those areas, that may be very interesting and helpful for you to listen to that. So stay tuned, and until next time.